It's a Bailey Unicorn Alicanto Estoril. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van, you've got the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. On either side of the van at the front, you've got the wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. They are only there for stabilising, not lifting the van. If you lift the caravan, these can potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Going further down the side of the van, you've got your water pump connection, which very simply pulls out the side of the van and pushes into the connection on the side, and you can use the cap here to lock it in place. You've got the pickup pipe that drops down inside the ack roll, and that needs to be fully submerged in water prior to turning the water pump on. You've then got your Aldi heating and hot water flue, which is very simply there to do the same job as a flue on the side of your house. Allow the gas system to breathe on the heating and hot water. In the side cabinet here, you have your gas valve on top of the gas bottle, so you've got gas open when you turn anti-clockwise and gas closed when you turn it clockwise. The fitment that goes into the front of the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, so it needs to be turned the opposite way to a standard fitment, for instance, to release from the front of the bottle. You can carry a maximum of 2 6kg propane gas bottles in the locker at any time. On the side of the van, you've got the motor mover on it. We'll demonstrate the motor mover while you're outside. The brake setting prior to the caravan leaving. Fresh water that goes into the caravan is outside. You've got 2 great waste pipes down the side of the van down here. You have 2 bits of grey pipe that go into the larger diameter holes around the outside, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. You've then got your storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. Then coming further back, you've got the toilet flush tank. The toilet flush tank is very simply there to allow the toilet system to flush, so you need to open it up. You need to put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you have your toilet waste cassette. So in here, you'll have your toilet waste cassette itself. You'll pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. You get the orange neck on top here, turns out 90 degrees, so you can tip the waste away. And then on the back of the cassette, you have an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You'll need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. At the back of the van on either side again, you've got your 2 wind down legs again. And coming down the side of the caravan, you've got a 3-pin socket to have power out to your awning and an aerial connection. You've got your mains power supply coming to the side of the van, which just pushes into the side, and the blue flap needs to go over the top here. You've then got your 2 fridge vents. The 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. You've got a storage locker for underneath the front seating area and your barbecue gas point. On the door, or next to the door, you'll see the plate that indicates what tyre pressures you need to have the van at, and also what the wheel bolt torques need to be. And we will do the torques before you leave site here, but we do advise you check them on each time you travel. So coming into the caravan now, first thing I'm going to show you is where the 240 trip switches are. So as you come underneath to the come towards the back of the van, next to underneath the bed on the right hand side of the van, you'll see you've got your power switch for your motor mover, which we'll demonstrate at the end of the handover. And then below that you have your 240 trip switches and your 12 volt fuses at the bottom. Each of the 12 volt fuses is marked, and on the top section you'll see what each fuse should be in those connections. Little tip for you, if you're on site and you're not sure if you've got mains power coming into the caravan, hit the switch here, and if this trip switch drops down as it has done now, it means there is mains power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. And if it stays in the upright position, it means there is no mains power coming into the caravan. You'll also notice next to the box, your consumer unit, that you've got your hole in the floor here for the battery to go in, and there's a 110 amp leisure battery in there ready for the van to be taken away. So once you know you've got mains power coming into the caravan, if you're on a mains powered site, you can turn the power on the control panel here. Turn the power on. In a moment, we're going to come back to the water pump run. But then you've got your water pump run here. So water pump's off at the moment. Then you've got your interior lights and your outside light for the caravan. So to turn the water pump on in a second, first before you do that, you'll need to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. As you can see, I've already filled the system up. We're going to open all the taps up, then come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. And underneath here you will find, behind this silver tank, just there below that black pipe, a yellow valve. That yellow valve needs to be flat with the floor to fill the water system up, and upright towards the bottom of the seat to drain the water system down. We do advise after each use of the caravan that you drain the water system down completely. But at the moment you need that valve flat with the floor so we can fill it up. So now it's flat with the floor, we can come over to the control panel by the door and it'll come up on the screen, pump running. So we're just going to turn the pump off, pump off, sorry. And then to turn the pump on, you're going to need to press the button just here, and the water pump will then kick in when I press the button here. So water pump is now on. So the water pump is running, and as you can see, we have water coming out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. So like I said, turn the pump on and then you'll start getting water flowing through the van. Once the water system is completely full, you can shut all of the taps back off, and then you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. That's where this control panel comes in, just behind the sink. So you've got power off and power on. You've got the menu button here, which allows you into the options for the control panel. You've got an indicator here to say we've got mains power going to the heating and hot water system. And at the moment the current room temperature is 33 degrees. If we hit the menu button again, at the top here we've got our room temperature. So you've got plus or minus for your room heating. The higher you go, obviously the hotter the heating is going to be. I'm going to leave it off today, funny enough. Below that, you've got your hot water. So you've got hot water off when this bar is completely empty. You've then got hot water on and hot water boost when this bar is completely full. So you'll need it on boost when you're showering. And if you want it to keep ticking over so it stays warm, then you'd have it halfway up on this triangle here. Below that, you've got the amount of power coming into the caravan. So you've got 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Now it will depend on what caravan site you're on to what you set this power level to. If you're on a site with 3 kilowatts, then the heating and hot water is going to run it as most efficient. If it's on 1 kilowatt, it will take longer to warm up for the heating and hot water than it will on the 3 kilowatts. If you are on the lower setting or you're off grid, you have got the option here to run gas to help it boost even quicker or to warm up quicker. Just leave that on for now. If it ignites on gas, then this will stay green here. If it fails to ignite on gas, it will come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen to indicate it has failed to ignite. In the bottom right hand corner, you have got some advanced settings for the control panel. For these, we do advise you read the manual fully that comes with the caravan and understand how it works, because in some of these settings you could actually end up turning off some of the heating and hot water in the background. So unless you fully understand it, we do advise you don't go into these settings and start changing things. Before you turn the main control panel off by the door, we always advise you turn off the heating and hot water control panel here so it is isolated prior to the rest of the system. Next thing we come to is the fridge. Now the fridge is quite simple to use. You press and hold the button here on the front to turn the fridge on. Then you get a little icon appear here. Now at the moment it's trying to ignite on gas. As you can see, to change that you press the central button. Press the central button. Use the dial here, which is on the outside, to spin the control. And you select the middle button here. Then you've got the option of auto, which auto will actually allow it to go to the first power source it sees. 12 volt, or the battery symbol, is a 12 volt supply from the car you are towing with. It is only the 12 volt supply from the car you're towing with, because it doesn't run from the 12 volt battery supply on board the caravan. Now essentially it just turns the fridge into a cool box, and you would need to make sure you have the right connection on your car and it is wired up correctly to make sure this operates in the right way. However, to select it, press the central button and then come back down to the bottom, come out of it. Now at the moment it's flashing red at me to let me know there is no 12 volt supply. As you can see, there's no car at the front of the caravan, but when there is and you connect it up, hopefully if you have the right connections, and that will work as a cool box. Gas mode, as you can see, when it fails to ignite it flashes red because that's what it was initially on. And if you want to use 240 mains, again you can select the 240 mains option and then come back out, and as you can see the fridge is operating on the 240 mains. To change the temperature of the fridge, again you press the central button and go to the temperature control. Then you can use the dial left or right to select the temperature of the fridge. Down the bottom here you have got some advanced settings, and again for these we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. Last thing we're going to go through, Hob Grill and Oven all work very much like your household appliances. You just need to remember, if you haven't got any 240 mains coming into the caravan, then you'll have no microwave or electric hob on the grill, on the hob, sorry. You have got your igniters across the front as you'd expect to see on a gas hob. Also, you have storage underneath the beds on either side as you're coming towards the back of the caravan. And the last thing we go through is the toilet system in the bathroom. So the toilet has an electric flush, which you press the button here on the wall for. Red light will illuminate here when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure the toilet is pointing straight across to the shower. And then below the toilet, you have your grey waste handle, which allows the waste into the cassette underneath the caravan. And when you're not using the toilet, you'd have it in the closed position, so no smells go up inside the van. But also, if it's in the central position, it will allow you to remove that toilet waste cassette if the cassette is full. So that is the Bailey Alicanto Estoril. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.